Well, we're back again on a Sunday night with another edition of the Sunday Bunch. We all had a week off last week because of the international break, but we're here to talk all things Sunderland once again. And with us tonight, we've got Terry, Jacob, and Lee on the panel. Terry, how's your day been?
It's the usual day, nice and chilled. A bit of exercise, bit of travelling, so happy days.
Nice one. And Jacob, what you been up to down south?
A lovely Sunday roast for Mother's Day. Out and about, mate. Happy Mother's Day to all.
Right. I nearly said something I just shouldn't have said, and I'm so glad I didn't say it. So there you go. And Lee is with us all the way over in sunny Spain. Lee, how's your day been?
A bit shitty, Phil, because I got my phone nicked last night in central Bilbao, mate. So I've been doing all of the steps to, block my phone, get a new SIM card and all that bollocks.
No.
Somebody come past and grab it off you, like?
No, it's just like a big crowd of people out in the streets in Bilbao, and someone was like whipped out my pocket when I wasn't looking.
Oh.
So I hope that little cunt gets hit by a bus.
Right, okay, listen, you can join us via the live chat if you want to have your say on anything we're talking about tonight. We'll do our best to try and get as many of you on as we can. Peter Solkeld, first up tonight, saying evening all. DJ Sizzler Watson is there as well as Stephen Thornton, our very own Emma, who was in the Weed Chief yesterday, helping me out as our resident stripper. Johnny Wong, not always right, but Johnny Wong. Cold, apparently he's got a cold there. So thanks for joining us, Johnny. Just very quickly as well, we will be telling you about football prizes. Our sponsor who's sort of on and off come on, and they're sponsoring us this month. And you can enter a competition for just 39p. So we'll tell you all about that in a little while. Yesterday then, back to winning ways, 1-0 at home to Millwall. Overall performance, first of all. Jacob, we'll go to you. What did you think overall?
Listen, some things we could have done a bit better, but overall, I think, considering it was a strong physical Millwall side we were playing, I thought pretty solid, to be honest. I thought we edged it in terms of quality in the final third compared to them. I thought they offered very little, but it was all about getting those 3 points after the disappointing display we had at Coventry before the international break. And I think that will be just what the players need right now going into the final running. We'll go on to key elements of the game a little bit later on, including the penalty miss. But yeah, I'm pleased to get back to winning ways at home, because those are the sort of games where we've dropped points in against teams like that at the Stadium of Light, particularly since the turn of the year.
Right, okay, thanks, Jacob. Just very quickly, back on the chat, there's a little bit of flirting going on there between Emma and Big, it looks like. Johnny says, can I have a prize? You could, Johnny, but you could answer a question and you will probably get it wrong. Never mind, okay. Tumbleweed. Terry, overall performance yesterday, what did you think?
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I'm quite pleased. I thought we looked sharper, fresher, more crisp, and I thought it was refreshing to see the lads passing the ball around quite nicely yesterday. I thought Millwall never really troubled us, apart from a couple of late opportunities after that penalty miss. I thought we contained them well. I thought the back line performed really well, and we kept them at bay. So overall, it was nice to see us come back from the break looking sharper and fresher.
Right, okay. I'll come back to on that just now. But Lee, watched the match. Overall performance, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was all right, Philly. It was better than recent performances. Didn't have as much possession. We had 45% possession, but we had 6 shots on target, 25 touches in their box. Good chances. Disappointing, probably we didn't go score 1 or 2 more, because we did have a couple of nervy moments. Especially at the end when they could have got one, but Chris Mepham, put his body in the way and got that block in. And so, yeah, happy to get back and winning ways, and hopefully we'll keep on winning a few more games before the end of the season, pick up the points, pick up confidence, and all for the playoffs.
Right, okay. I am going to come back to you just now, Terry, on this. Just very quickly on on the chat. Emma says first half boring, picked up a little second half, not that much. Tony Lee is on there. All right, Mungy and the lads. Hiya, Tony. How you doing? Ian Brown says Coventry Borough last game of the season should be interesting for 5th place. Terry, you just said about there. You said you thought it was all right, looked sharp and crisp. One of my things, and I thought we looked leggy. I thought we looked a bit. We looked a bit tired, as though I don't know the players who'd been away on the international break and stuff like that. Obviously, you didn't see it like that. Emma's sort of saying similar. You just thought we was.
I mean, obviously, you know, like the Chris Rigg, maybe he's been a bit tired for his travelling around the world sort of thing, doing these bits and pieces. But I thought overall we looked a lot fresh. I think it was Roberts' best game of the season so far. I thought he looked really fresh and looked really sharp, and I thought he was on his game completely yesterday. I just thought some of the players just the early, you know, were in the faces from the off goal. We're straight at them, and the passing was great, and we were coming to the goal in certain aspects of the game. I just thought we looked a hell of it. I mean, chalk and cheese compared to the Coventry game for me. I know we've still got a lot to build on, and momentum's got to come yet. But I thought compared to the Coventry game, we were loads better.
No, the Coventry game is our worst performance so far. I mean, we said that anyway. Dan Wilkes says wasn't the best game, but I'd take the win. We need to sort out the penalty takers. We are going to get onto that. I did think we looked a bit leggy. Lee, do you think we looked sharp? Was we all right, or your opinion on it?
I think both Jacob and Terry mentioned it before that our passing looked crisper. We looked a bit like we had a spring in our step. Players looked a bit sharper. I think they enjoyed the rest. But yeah, I thought it was like better than the previous games. Yeah, I think, like I said before, there were some nervy moments, but I think all in all, I thought Millwall made it quite easy for us. I expected maybe Alex Neil to kind of come back and haunt us like he did last time when he was with Stoke. But really, Millwall just kind of stood off and let us play. It's just that we weren't very clinical again, but we got the one goal and that was enough.
Right, okay. On to you, Jacob. I mean, I know, Terry, you mentioned about Roberts and Jacob. You was not in agreement there. I mean, I did. I agree with you, Terry. I mean, I said to my mate, I said, I'd love him to get a goal as well now, because it's like, you know, he's had his knockers, a bit like our lass. Anyway, Jacob.
Sorry, I just thought he was a little less selfish yesterday than he normally is. I thought he passed the ball around for his man rather than doing it all himself.
Right, okay. Jacob, do you think we looked sharp yesterday then?
I think the most important thing we needed to address was, particularly after the Coventry game, which was a shambles, was going back to basics. Particularly, Terry hit the nail on the head. I think our passing was just a lot more crispy yesterday. I think we were solid in tight situations. I think when Millwall were looking to, you know, use the physical side of their game, I thought we were calm in possession. I thought we were able to get our creative players on the ball a lot more. And when we did have our creative players on the ball, hence Roberts, who has been 50-50 before the international break, yesterday for me, he just looked more confident when he had the ball. He looked fitter. He was wanting to take people on. He was unlucky not to score in the first half, to be fair. That shot had hit, obviously went just wide of the post, but it was a lovely assist for the goal. We'll come on to the goal in a bit. But yeah, Roberts, a very good standout performance from him. But we have to remember, you know, it's an injury hit squad right now. You know, we were asking players to do different roles. They're not used to even Alan Brown playing at fullback as well. Big up to him. And obviously Trey Hume moving over to left back, which that reshuffle had me a little bit nervous before the game. I thought how we were going to adjust to that. Will Millwall take advantage? But I thought defensively we looked better in terms of keeping our shape yesterday. I think overall, we've addressed the issues that we've needed to address.
And of course, a clean sheet, which has not happened for a while. Just very quickly, I want to go back to the chat. Stephen Clark says, evening. First half was good play, but we must finish teams off in the first half. Second half, we always become tired. And it is we have that last 10 minutes where there's a goal in it and you're hanging on. And at my age, it's not a good thing. Emma says she agrees with you, Terry. Roberts was on it yesterday. He would be a man of the match, apparently, down there. Dan Wilkes says Brown and Hume both had a great game. Woodsy 92 says Lefebvre will be our ticket to the Premier League if he comes back. 74 people on at the moment. We got 14 likes on mine, but I've not updated. So if you can just hit the thumbs up. We try to hit 100 if we can on a Sunday night. Numbers are a little bit down tonight, which suggests that some people have forgot to put their clocks forward, and they'll be joining us in around about 50 minutes time from now, I would imagine. Right then, the elephant in the room then, penalties. Again, I know we can hit the goal and everything, but the penalty situation obviously is something that's going to need sorting out pretty quick, because if we go into the playoffs with this same thing, we could end up in a penalty shootout, and we don't even have a first choice penalty taker at the moment. Now, when we got the penalty, me personally, I was screaming for Wilson Isidore to take it. I know Terry had said he should take it if it was 0-0, then not. But we were 1-0 up and was nearly at the end of the game, and he didn't. And up steps Luke O'Nien, surprised everybody. So I just want to put to you, who do you think should have taken the penalty yesterday, and who do you think should then be our resident penalty taker? Lee, we'll start you off with that if you want.
I think whoever they agree on before the match begins, Philly. I think you have to have a person designated to be the penalty taker, rather than have that embarrassing situation on the pitch, because it doesn't look good. So I think Mundell wanted it. He was confident, but whether O'Nien was the person who they'd agree that would take it, I don't know. But going on to the penalty, I mean, it was a poor penalty. Like, Luke O'Nien was actually almost falling over the ball as he went to kick it, so he didn't get any power behind it. And then obviously Mundell went off, got subbed off a couple minutes later, went on a huff down the tunnel. So it's not good for the team spirit, not good for the confidence. And another penalty miss. That's 4 this season.
Well,
4 out of 5, yeah.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I think we can all agree it was a terrible penalty. And you saying about, this should have been decided before, off the pitch, because Mundell. I mean, there's quite a few on the chat here saying Mundell should have taken it and stuff like that, and he did want to take it, which is a good thing. I mean, you want somebody who wants to take it, but then he was a bit stroppy, and when he got pulled off, you just.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, so anyway, go on then, Jacob. What are your thoughts? Who should have taken it yesterday? Who do you think should be our resident?
I think the confidence that Mundell's had of late and his performances he's been putting in, are, considering the fact also the odd free kick we've had in and around the opposition penalty area, he's been on them, and he's been close with a few. I remember one game at home to Borough earlier in the season where I think he hit the outside of the post. It was a brilliant effort. So I was all for Mundell take it up. Bit surprised. I thought Isidore, after the Burnley fiasco that he went through, well, he put all of us fans through, one of those days for him. His confidence from that, it's gone down, and I thought the best way for it was for him to step up yesterday. But I was a bit surprised by that. But I thought the next best person for it would have been Mundell. So when I saw that Dan Neal watching the stream had given the ball to Luke O'Nien, I thought, what, really? But then again, I don't think the players were prepared for it at all. I don't think the conversation had been discussed regarding penalties before the game. I mean, it was the first penalty we'd been awarded in a league game at the Stadium of Light since October 2023. I think the last one was a Jack Clark penalty home to Norwich.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just very quickly then. I mean, when the people around me, when Luke O'Nien put the ball on the spot, they were saying, "Oh, this is a bit of a training ground thing. He's not actually going to take this. And like, you know, because people just sort of couldn't believe just out of the blue that was going to take it. Just very quickly on the chat here, different people saying Mundle, Dan Wilkes, Mundle should have took it. Emma says it should have been Mundle. Stephen Clark, Mundle. The resident taker should be Hume. Stephen Thornton says Partner should take the penalties. And this is interesting. I don't know how true this is, but Ian Brown says 4 penalties this season, 4 missed. Have we only had 4 this season
5.
and we've missed them all?
Robert scored 1.
Robert scored away at Plymouth.
Right, okay. So we've had 5 and we've missed 4 of them. Is that right then?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's no good at all. Terry, your thoughts on it? Who do you think should have taken yesterday? Who do you think should be our resident?
Well, let's face it. If this hasn't been decided before kickoff, then it's very unprofessional and very Mickey Mouse, to be honest. I mean, this should all be done and dusted before the game even kicks off. You know, it saves all this mucking about, looking really sort of, it just looks really bad. Players arguing with each other, wanting to take the penalty. If it's all sorted before the game starts, then that's it, simple as. For me, it is very poor organisation if this hasn't been organised before the game's already started. I wanted Isidore to take the penalty because we were 1-0 up, and I thought it's a good opportunity with 10 minutes to go to bury the game, to get his confidence back with taking penalties. If Isidore didn't take it, I'd have Mundle, I'd have Hume, I'd have Job. Luke 9 comes nowhere near my penalty taker. Absolutely nowhere near. So I just don't understand where we stand with penalties at the moment to be in the situation we are, because it is really, really poor.
Right, okay. Before we came on air, I mean, Terry were talking, and you were saying about you know, a defender taking the penalty, and Dan Wilkes says the same. Why would a defender take it? On the chat also, just in case, says back on track. He's referring to the title we've put on this. I'll come to you just now, Lee. Says just more of the same for him from what he saw the last 10 minutes. He was waiting for Millwall to equalise. Another penalty miss. And then when fate has it in the playoffs was going to end up with penalty shoot-off, I don't know. Lee, you was one in there.
Yeah, so like Luke 09 has actually scored a penalty for us, Philly. He scored in the Checker Trade Trophy final against Portsmouth because he was one of the takers in that game. So I wonder if maybe that came into play as well. He thought that I can take penalties, I can score. So,
well, I mean, it's I'll come to you just now, Terry. It's a bigger problem that, especially with us, we're 7 games away from the playoffs, and penalties can play a big part in those games, and we have a problem with penalties. So, Terry?
I understand Isidore. If Isidore doesn't want to take a penalty again because of what has happened and his confidence is down, I get it. But if I'm Mundle and it's before the game, I'm saying, Gaffer, I take this penalty before Luke 09. I'm up there. I'm scoring goals. I'm the one that's an attacking threat. Why does the defender, you know, step up before me? But if it hasn't been organised before the match has started, then it has to be Mundle. If Mundle's being fouled in the penalty box, he wants to take it. I just have a word. You know, the captain needs to make a better decision to give him the Luke 09 because for me, it was a really poor penalty as well. Let's face it.
I mean, I don't know what the pecking order is, but I mean, I did notice that Dan Neil as captain was in amongst it when Mundle was protesting. I think he was protesting to Dan Neil about wanting to take it, and then I don't know how come. I mean, for me, it was a massive shock that it was Luke 09. You know what I mean? I think there was a number of other players would have been more suited, and it's.
I'd have more confidence in Hume smashing that bugger down the middle of the goal than Luke 09.
No, Terry.
He scored a few goals of late.
Terry, have you had a Sunday afternoon drink there, mate?
No.
Have you? Well, you can't say that I would do a better job than Luke 09.
No, I said Hume, not you.
Oh, Hume? I thought you said
Hume,
me.
Not you. Trey Hume. Have you had a few drinks?
I'm gonna have to get one of them trumpets. I'm gonna have to get one of them for my hearing. All this DJing, it's not mine.
He's one of the unsung players of the season, if not one of the Mr. Consistent players of the season. Hume's been brilliant. So for me, the way his confidence is, after he's just scored the first goal, he takes it before Luke 09 all day.
Right, okay. Listen, look, we got 37 likes at the moment. We do try and hit 100 if we can on a Sunday. So do us a favor. We've got 90 people on the stream at the moment. Just hit that thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do so. If you are watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close the live chat. You see the thumbs up. Smash that for us. Let's get that number up. And as always, if you are watching and you are not a subscriber, it's free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. There's a little, where do I point? Down in that, well, in the corner where Lee is down there, there's a little subscribe button. Just hit that and we'll do that. That'll help us out. It was a hard watch for me yesterday. I know you've seen it different to me. Do you think Alex Neil set up to frustrate us? I mean, I don't really think that they were that good, and I don't think they had that many chances until the very end. But Jacob, do you think he set out to frustrate us? Is that what he did? Jacob?
I'll start happily. I think, considering the sides he's brought to the stadium of like before being Stoke, I think Millwall, obviously compared to previous sides he's come up with, I think offered less quality. I think he had to. So I mean, Millwall have always, every time I've watched them come to our place, they've always had the same game plan. You know, with normally it's a hold-up striker and people running off them and them using set pieces to take advantage. And obviously they had Aaron. I feared the worst before the game with Aaron Connolly playing. You know, former players coming back doing the business at Sunderland. It was just written in the script. But yeah, we kept him at bay, and I felt we adjusted our game a little bit in order to cope with what they brought in terms of their physicality. And I think they offered very little, to be honest. It was one of the more poor Millwall sides I've seen come to us in recent years. So we got over the line. That was the most important thing. And I mean, they almost snatched an equaliser late on. That was a brilliant block from Meppen. I mean, it looked like the geezer had handballed it before he took the shot, but still, you got to ride those moments out when they do get the opportunities. And yeah, we did that, but I thought we managed to shut them out early doors and in key moments throughout the game. So yeah, one of those.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Woodsy92 says Anthony Patterson and Simon Moore spotted in a night out in Newcastle at Filthy's nightclub last night. I mean, they're allowed to go over there, and then there's comments about some of the players commenting on certain things, and people saying they should terminate the contracts. I think it's all a little bit drastic, but never mind. Terry, Alex Neil, you know, knows us at the stadium alike. Did he set up to frustrate us, do you think?
Let's just go back to the penalty situation. I guess I'm not finished yet.
Well,
when Watson and Miyende came on, did you see how long it took them when they were stripped off actually to come on? The amount of attention to detail that goes into those two players coming on with the little sort of Apple, whatever they use, little Kindle things or iPads, whatever they use, and they're chatting for ages, do this, do that, sort this out, sort that out. I can't believe for the life of me, you know, Regis Labrie says the penalties are just sorted out at the time. You know, there's that much attention to detail. It's got to be organised before the game kicks off, surely. Anyway, Alex Neil, I thought it was poor from Alex Neil. The 6 points of the playoffs, it was an opportunity with Sunderland getting beat against Coventry to really go for it against us. And he just didn't do it. They weren't good enough, simple as. You know, I don't really rate Connolly. I wish him all the best at Millwall. I'm pleased he has scored a goal for them. But I thought yesterday we easily, you know, snuffed out Connolly. And I thought we kept the majority of them at bay until the last 10 minutes. And I think the only reason they got into the game last 10 minutes because obviously our heads went down. We missed the penalty and their heads picked up a little bit.
Just very quickly then on I've lost my train of thought now with that. Oh yeah,
I think Alex Neil's no better than a mediocre mid-table championship head coach for me.
What sort of reception did he get? I was with me being at the Wheat Sheaf, I sort of come in right on kickoff. Did he get much of a bad reception or not?
I never really heard much, to be fair.
No,
to be honest. The only time I heard them singing to Alex Neil was when we scored a goal, I think.
All right, okay. Lee, did Alex Neil set up to frustrate us, do you think?
I just think he set up with the players that he had. No, I think as Terry mentioned before, I was surprised as well that he didn't go more attacking, because every time he plays against us with other teams, he's always done better, hasn't he? He's done with Stoke. He came then, they butchered us 5-1. So I was just a bit surprised that with our confidence quite low, that he didn't come in and go aggressive against us. But no, he kind of stood off.
Right. Dan Wilson's agreeing with what you're saying there, Terry, about Alex Neil, mid-table manager at best. The striker situation yesterday, Wilson Isidore was just not at the races yesterday. Very quiet for me. Should he have like had Meander start before him, or what? Or do you think he warranted a start or whatever? Jacob?
I'm glad you came. I was shocked that Meander was left on the bench, to be brutally honest. I think he's been one of our more consistent performers of late, whether it's to do with, he wants to have as much rotation as we can in the position we're in, with, the big points gap separating us from 7th to the top 2. I think I can understand whether he wants to, refreshen things up a bit, whether, Meander could have been carrying a bit of a knock before the game. But I thought even in that few minutes he had when he did come on towards the end, that each time he gets the ball, he's wanting to make runs at the defenders. He's looking always to potentially get a shot away. And Isidore, when he's in the positions at the minute, obviously tremendous pace, but when the opportunity's there, it's not happening for him at the minute. Obviously, you can talk about the header he missed. Yes, a great save from the keeper, but for me, he's got to be heading that back across the goal. He's got to be burying that, the type of striker he is. For a tall, big built bloke as he is, Isidore, I thought there's times when you watch him, he goes down too easily for me when he's trying to hold up. But Terry will probably agree, when the ball's pumped up to the forward line, him trying to shrug off defenders. He, at times of late, when I've watched him, he just looks a bit soft, to be honest. I think there was one opportunity, I think, in the first half where he was trying to beat his marker and he went down claiming a penalty, and it was a very, very soft bit of play from it. For me, could have been a lot stronger in order to get past his marker, but it's not happening for him right now. I don't know whether it's a confidence thing since that night, Friday night at Burnley in January, or I don't know, he could potentially be carrying a knock as well. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
Right, okay. I mean, I must admit, I'd love to see like when the opposition get a corner, Isidore being left on the halfway line, and it just suits his game so much, and it's something that we never ever do. Before I come to the others on this, just in case on the chat, says, I swear there'll be another medical emergency in the stands before the season's out. The last 10 minutes of games, a heart attack country. Just a quick mention on that. I believe what happened in the East Stand, I believe it was a lady, and from what I've heard, it was a seizure. So she was okay and recovered from it, and I believe that's the case. Terry?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen one or two comments on social media, on different sort of Sunderland banter pages, to do with how the stewards just didn't react to the situation, and apparently, she was in distress for a little while before they actually got medical attention there for her. So if that's the case, and again, allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, and the stewards are just sitting there doing nothing, we need to get that reassessed, because the health and welfare of the fans and the crowds, if someone does collapse, we need medical assistance there straight away as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very quickly, this is an interesting stat. If it's true, I suppose Jacob might know. He's our stat man, it seems, tonight. But Martin Smith says he's sure that 09 had 6 out of 6 penalties before yesterday. So I don't know how true that is, but
I think he might. I mean, the only one I can remember of the 6 that he's mentioned was obviously the Checker trade finer. He was one of the lads who put theirs away, but he might have taken
I suppose
I think in the run up to that final that season.
Yeah, I suppose if that stat's correct, then it probably made a lot of sense him stepping up to take it. Lee, should we have started Meander ahead of Isidore yesterday? Do you think?
It's an interesting one, isn't it, Philly? Because Meander's on a high at the minute. He's been in good form. Scored those 2 goals against Chef Wed. Got called to Spain on the 21 squad. Made his debut for them. So the lad's got. He's on a good run of form, isn't he? He's got confidence. On the other hand, though, he's been away for 2 weeks, but Isidore's been there, hasn't he? He's been training. So I imagine that Lebris is probably thinking in terms of preparation for the match. I'd rather have a player who's there. But then again, you look at Rig and Job, and they were both away and they played. So 6 and 2 threes, isn't it? I mean, I personally would have started Meander because I think he's in a much better frame of mind. He's more confident at the minute than Isidore.
Yeah, fair enough. Dan Wilkes on the chat says Meander should start over Wilson. Stephen Clark says Isidore had a sitter and headed it right at the keeper. Couldn't believe it. To be honest, from where I sat, it was an excellent save. Was you behind that goal as well, Terry? It was a cracking save. Like it
was straight towards the keeper.
Yeah,
like
right.
any side of the keeper to goal, simple as, because he was too close.
See, I'm side on from it. So for me, I couldn't see. In relation.
It was still a good reaction save from the keeper. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Lee, you want in there?
Yeah, on that chance, Philly, I think like the way his head in action is on that chance, it just reminds me of like a little scared little boy or a girl, like when they're going to head the ball and they go like that with the hands. Like it's just the way he didn't really head it with any conviction, and he just basically made sure that it hit his head, but without kind of aiming it anywhere. But I think that's one of his weaknesses is his heading.
Right, okay, Terry, do you think we should have started Meander yesterday over Isidore?
Again, I think that's what Lee said. If he's been away for a couple of weeks and he's had a couple of games, maybe he might have picked up a bit of a knock. Maybe he's a bit tired. I don't know if it's how far he's been travelling. Excuse me. But, I mean, it's been a good first season of the Championship for Isidore, hasn't it? Let's face it, it's got some really good goals. So hopefully he'll get better next season. But, for me, I would start me in the next game above Isidore. Again, I do think it goes down too easily. I don't know if that's part of his game to go down easily, trying to find penalties. But if he'd stood his ground when he was in the penalty box and tried to maybe shot the ball to his right, he might have gone under the keeper. I don't know. I prefer to see players just try and be strong in the box and try and get a shot off than go down trying to win penalties. For me, it's not something that I don't think players should be doing. But it is what it is. It's his first season in the Championship. I think he'll learn from this season and get better. But I think Meander starts next game for me.
Right, okay. Stephen Clark on the chat says the stewards are first aid trained and fire trained as there was when he was a steward. To be honest, we could do one of those first aid trained stewards sent round to Terry's house by the looks of things. Terry?
Apparently, is it the alpha stewards we have at the moment? And that maybe people who were saying that on minimum wage, they don't want to do the basics. Some of them are just not really that bothered, to be honest. And it took for not St. John's Ambulance, but some other people to come down from the top of the run all the way down. Took ages then, obviously, for the game to shut. Apparently, there was thousands of fans shouting for the game to be stopped to help this young girl. And it took a long time, It's a matter of life or death. It's got to be addressed, this situation, straight away. If the stewards are sitting there doing nothing, again, allegedly, that needs to be addressed. They're the first port of call. They need to be standing up, stopping the game, getting the people over there, any medical attention straight away.
Right, okay. Stephen Clark, yes, Lee is wearing a signed shirt. There you go. It's signed by me, Terry, and Jacob down there, and he's wearing that with pride. All right, look. Before I go on to the next topic, I do want to quickly tell you football prizes. They're doing a superb, massive Sunderland competition, like loads of stuff they are giving away, and it's only 39p to enter. So here's me to tell you more about it. This is a must for any Sunderland fan. Football prizes are running their biggest ever Sunderland competition so far. Loads of great prizes to be won. It's only 39 pence to enter as well. If you click the link in the description, that will get you in there, and you can enter the competition. A signed squad shirt, which is framed in a custom LED frame, as well as lots of other shirts you can win. Lafay's in there, Isidore, Neil, Rig, Job, they're all in there. Some of those are in custom LED frames as well. There are squad shirts, home and away, third strip as well, and over 100 instant win prizes for you also. The competition closes on Friday, the 18th of April at 7:30. Like we said, click the link, enter the competition. It is only 39 pence to enter. So there you go. What a handsome chap. And it looks like I thought we'd lost Terry.
I fell asleep, sorry.
All right, listen. Right, okay. So don't forget, there's a link in the description if you want to enter that. 39 pence. Like, there's an absolute boatload of stuff they're giving away, courtesy of football prizes. Right, okay. Very quickly, your thoughts on the referee. Was it Bobby Madley again? I think the one who didn't he get demoted from the Premier League? I don't know, but I seem to be shouting at him a lot yesterday. I don't think a lot went our way. Your thoughts on it, Lee? Do you think he was all right, or was it just me seeing things?
I think he's one of the better refs, but I mean, yeah, he does do some dodgy things, doesn't he? So, yeah, and he did get demoted, didn't he? Didn't he get caught making a video insulting somebody or someone like that? That's why he got demoted. And he moved to Sweden, I think, as well. Years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, to be honest,
the one thing you'll give Bobby Madley credit for is giving us that penalty for that Colaccini foul on Fletcher in the derby in 2015.
Oh, was it him? All right,
Yeah.
okay. And that was never a penalty that time, was it really?
Yeah,
Oh, no, it might have been a penalty, but I don't know. Anyway, I would take it all day long. Jacob, thoughts on the ref yesterday? All right game or not?
I thought, to be honest, I kind of agree with you. I thought it was a bit mediocre, to be honest. There was a few stop-start moments where he could have let the game flow a little bit more. It was a lot of unnecessary free kicks, a few occasions where he could have played the advantage as well, and he decided to blow up. But listen, I think whatever side's playing Millwall, I think you're in for a busy day, because they are the sort of team that will give a lot of free kicks away. I thought, although there was a few occasions where there were some unnecessary yellows dished out. I remember, didn't Job get booked in the first half? It was a pretty... no, wrong, actually. I think second half, Isidore, brilliant tackle, I thought, and the Millwall player went down like he'd snapped his leg in half, to be honest. I mean, it was probably tactical from their players, obviously trying to surround the referee, reduce... trying to make it one man less for the opposition they're playing against. But yeah, the game's gone when it comes to tackling, to be honest. Whatever.
Right. I mean, I did think the Job booking in the first half was a definite booking on my part. Just very quickly, Stephen Clark says, Philly, have you got contacts in or a filter? Your eyes are proper blue. Well, the thing is, my eyes are... I'm 6'2", eyes are blue, Triggy Diggies after you. For all the members who'll remember that one. Right, listen, referee for you, Terry, all right game, or was I shouting at him for nout?
Yeah, it was a bit mediocre, wasn't he? But I've seen worse. I don't think that Mepham was the yellow card, mine. I think the player ran in front of Mepham instead of Mepham sort of tripping him over. I think that was a bit of a harsh yellow card. I think he won that one, and Madley fell for that one. But yeah, it was a bit of a moot point, to be honest.
Right, okay. Substitutions again. Reggie's not renowned for making substitutions like at a decent time. I mean, they were very late yesterday. Should he be making these substitutions early? I mean, we need to put these games to bed, and it's up to the manager to see things, change things around, and do that. Terry, your thoughts on that, on his substitutions? Does he need to improve?
I think generally he does, yeah. But I thought yesterday, I thought Mundell was having a good game, so I thought it was harsh to bring him off for Watson. And yeah, Meander maybe should have came in a bit earlier for Isidore, but I think it takes forever in a day to get sorted out. Like I said before, with all the technical jargon that's going on, dragging them over, talking about this, talking about that, it seems to go on forever before somebody comes on. But I mean, there's one or two other players I wouldn't mind talking about too as well when you get a minute.
One or two other players? What? Sorry, you
I wouldn't mind talking about as well when you get a minute.
Right, okay. Well, let me pass this round and we'll come back to you on that. Just very quickly on the chat, Dan Wilson says 9 points from second.
So
it's still a chance. You cannot tell Terry that. Jacob, substitutions with Reggie. Is he all right for you, or do you think he needs to?
I was a bit surprised at that, to be brutally honest. I thought he would have made them a bit earlier to freshen things up a bit, considering some of the players, the likes of Mepham, Job, Rig, Mayenda was on the bench. Obviously, he'd been away with Spain on the 21s, but I think Rig and Job had been away with England youth of late. Mepham played for Wales on Tuesday night against Macedonia. You would have thought he'd bring them on earlier to reduce the chances of injury, but he wanted to keep it the same, whether that was to keep the strong shape we were having to contain Millwall. Who knows? But yeah, I think in terms of the lads that did cut, I think that's probably our best threat we had on the bench yesterday in Mayenda and Watson. It was a very injury-hit squad right now, and the last thing we want is another injury to that treatment table, which is why I would have thought he'd refreshen things up a tad earlier, to be honest. But he didn't do that. We won the game, though. That's the most important thing.
Right, okay. Emma says she was shouting at the ref too. Danny D says prediction time: Sunderland versus Leeds at Wembley in the playoff final. Pato becomes a hero after the penalty shootout. Stephen Clark also says, what does Alexic have to do to get minutes? Fair point. Lee, I'll come to you and then we'll go to Terry because he wants in on a topic. Substitutions, Reggie, do you think he's got it right, or should he be making changes a bit earlier, or what?
I think it's been one of the criticisms of him all season, Philly, that he makes the subs too late and he doesn't make enough. But I mean, to his credit, yesterday, I mean, he couldn't really make too many subs, couldn't he? Because he only had Mayenda and Watson and possibly Alexic, who were going to do anything, because the other kids on the bench were like Lavery, Jones, Bainbridge, Middlemass, and Joe Anderson. So I think, yeah, he should have made them earlier, but he didn't have much choice, did he? Not really.
I mean, at the end of the day, we saw it out and we got the 1-0 win, and that's it. The bottom line, that's what it's all about. Terry, you want to jump in with something?
Well, the substitutions, it's a bit of a catch-22, because if he brings his subs on too early, then somebody gets injured, you're bringing on kids, aren't you? So if your team's winning and they're playing all right, you want to maybe leave them on longer and then make your substitutions later, have their sort of more experienced players to come on to help out. But his hands were a bit tied yesterday. I mean, with Rig, Job and Neil, Alexic was the only one that could really come into the starting lineup and change things, but he's been away as well. So for me, he made the right decision there. And I was worried at the start of the game with obviously the lack of strength and depth for the defensive side of things, but with Brown coming in at right back, he's played there for Preston before, and I thought Brown had a great game yesterday. I thought Brown never looked out of place at right back, but I also thought Mepham used his intelligence and his experience to help out Brown as much as possible. He really defended and helped Brown, but Brown, with his experience at passing in the midfield, he never really put a pass astray, and I thought he looked really comfortable and confident in the right back position. So I thought Brown had a fantastic game there, and again, credit to the manager for putting Brown there. I thought, like I said, Patterson in the first half, because the second half I didn't quite see him on the other side, but I thought the first half, his kicking was loads better, never shot one out of play. I thought his handling was much better. He looked a lot fresher, a lot fitter. And I thought Patterson, one of his better games yesterday. I thought his passing was like a different player altogether. So a big shout out to Patterson and Brown yesterday.
I suppose you're right. I mean, that thing of where, Colin wanted to have his weekly slot on here as well. He needed to be on. You're right about, if you make them too early and you get injuries, then you know. But it's one of them things as well about changing the formation, or you know, if you're winning, are you going to bring defenders on and defend your lead and stuff like that? I mean, I seem to think, correct me if you don't agree, but I think we're sitting back more than I think at the start of the season when Reggie was new to us. We was this attacking team, always going for it, and now we just seem to sit back more. Terry?
I thought yesterday was more like that at the start of the season. Yesterday, I thought because they were fresher, they weren't as tired. And I thought yesterday there was that spark in the play from the off, and that's what we had at the start of the season, and that was good to see yesterday.
Yeah, I think we came out of the blocks all right, but mind you, we've done that a few times this season where we've had a good 5 or 10 minutes, and then we've just gone absolutely rubbish. But it just seems to me like I said, the start, and I know we had a brilliant start. We just seemed all the time to be attacking, for the full 90 minutes, and we just don't seem to do that now.
But I do think we haven't got a strong squad. I don't think we've got a strong squad in depth. Squad, a lot of injuries. We haven't got the place to shake it up to rotate the squad. Right. So throughout a full season, the players eventually are going to get tired towards the end of games, and that's if you're going to constantly attack. Eventually they're going to get leggy. You said it looked leggy on Saturday. Well, I thought it looked much better yesterday with that freshening up of the 2 weeks. So I think with 7 games to go, hopefully we're going to start picking at the right time.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's. What about a man of the match from you all for yesterday? Then, Lee, who do you think stood out for you?
Alan Brown and Trey Hume, I think, and Roberts. Any of those three?
Right. Okay. Jacob, standout performer for you?
I agree with Lee, but if I had to pick one, I thought Roberts looked refreshed, looked more confident. Had a lot more swagger in his play, less selfish at times as well. Does need to work on some of his corners. I think he overhit 2 second half, which were abysmal, but a fantastic assist for Hume's volley. Roberts for me. I
think a lot of our corners of recent months, to be honest, have been dreadful. I mean, this is sort of bread and butter stuff. These players are on thousands of pounds a week, and you can't even take a corner. And it's not even like one-offs. It's just it just happens a lot. Terry, who was your standout man yesterday?
I did like Brown's performance. I really did, with his experience. I like Trey Hume. I think he's going over to the left side. He had a good game. But I have to say, for me, when I look back at the game, that was probably the best set piece, best goal we scored from the set piece this season. I thought it was brilliant. I thought the short corner took all of their defence by surprise. Back to Roberts, and he picked out Hume coming into the back post. That was well planned. And what a finish from Trey Hume. Again, one of the unsung heroes of the season. So for me, I'll give it to Roberts. But I thought that was, for me, just brilliant to watch. The best set player that leads to a goal for me this season.
Definitely 100% off the training ground like that. And, not only that, I mean, they knew what they were doing, but the execution of it, I mean, on the volley, just an absolutely tremendous goal. And for me, I would give Hume the man of the match. I just thought he had a good game. Roberts I was over the moon for Roberts because I'm a big fan of Roberts. And like I say, he has had a lot of stick over recent months.
Also, Hume's playing with an injury as well. A bit of a niggle, a bit of an injury. I know he's not 100%. So for me, if he keeps going the way he's going, he's up there for one of the players of the season.
Yeah, he came off for Northern Ireland middle of the week with a hip injury. I think there was rumours knocking about that Reggie was surprised he was fit enough to start the game, to be fair. So, yeah, fair play for him coming in.
He's like a little tank, isn't he? Basically, he's hard as nails. I love his challenges.
Yeah.
Old school challenges, brilliant.
Right, okay. Look, on the chat, different people coming in with Roberts, Hume, Brown, all those different people there suggesting that. Luke, just very quickly, we are trying to get 100 likes as we normally do on a Sunday. All you got to do is just hit that thumbs up. It's dead easy. It'll take you a second to do that. We got how many we got on? 113 people watching the stream at the moment. So just hit that thumbs up, give us a like. Let's get us to 100. And once again, don't forget, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Free to subscribe, and we'll take you a second, and we will love you forever. Let's move on to Saturday's game then. West Brom versus Sunderland next Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Another early one. Would you set up then? I'm thinking more up front here. You know, do we are we going to stick with Isidore? Would you chuck Meander in, or what do you think, Lee?
I think he'll play Mayenda because he'll want someone who's going to run his bollocks off up front, and I think Mayenda does that better than Wilson at the minute.
Right. Okay. That the only changes, or would you everything all right? I mean, I don't know what we're like for injuries and stuff.
I think Lefay probably be back on the bench. So I don't think we'll rush him back. I think we'll ease him back in. He'll probably be on the bench, and then Hjelde, I don't know if he's out for another week or two, but yeah, I can't see any more changes than that.
Right. Okay, Terry.
Yeah, I think Hjelde and Lefay are back on the bench next week. As far as I know, I mean, I can't imagine them starting straight away, and I wouldn't really want them to start straight away. I mean, I'm happy to leave Brown where he is for the moment. So I'm happy to bring Hjelde and Lefay onto the bench and start Meander and put Isidore on the bench.
Right, okay. Jim N on the chat says Trey scored a great goal yesterday. It helped that he was playing left-hand side when it came over to him. Superbly well-worked goal as it was. Jacob, how would you set up next week?
In terms of, was it behind the forward line? I don't think he has much choice with the current injuries. I think the players who are coming back, you know, soon, in the likes of Lefay and potentially Hjelde as well, I think he'll want to ease them back in slowly. I think we can't afford to have any more injuries with the playoffs coming up, because it looks like it is going to be playoffs now. It would take something miraculous for us to go on a bad run and drop out. But I think if he was going to make a change, I think the only one I see him doing would be Mayenda coming in up top for Isidore, which I think that would do.
I mean, you say playoffs unless something ridiculous happens, really. But I hate to agree with you, because I'm Mr. Positive all the time, and I think if it was one team who was needing to slip up, then I mean, there's Leeds. Leeds are having a little bit of a sticky patch now. But the fact that we need two teams to do it is probably a little bit too much of an ask. Ian Brown says on those likes, we're probably going to get double the amount of likes at 8:30 when the stream starts. Again, for all the people who've not put the clocks forward and join us in 6 minutes time, then you can hit the likes then.
I can't believe people have gone throughout the whole of the day and not moved the clocks. Come on, Phil.
We man, it happens.
You give people very little
I forgot this morning, to be fair.
It happens. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Now it's 8:30 at night now.
I'll tell you what, the best thing I saw was I think we was playing the Mags one Sunday, and it was the clocks were actually going back the night before, and the manager of the venue I was working in, I won't say who it is or where it is, had put a big sign up for the staff saying, "Do not be late. Remember that the clocks go back tonight." I thought, well, you're not going to be late. If anything, you're going to be early, aren't you, if you haven't put it back? So, but the intelligence of a manager, but never mind. Listen, I was working out sort of the points we need for definite playoffs, and I think it's 2 more wins secures a playoff place mathematically for us. West Brom are in 6th place. So, you know, how do you think we should approach it next week? Should we sit back, hit them on the break, or should we just go gung-ho and try and hammer a load past them? Lee?
I think we keep on playing the way we played, as we played all season. Well, mostly all season. Just other teams are going to have more possession than us. We just need to get them on the counter-attack, be more clinical, and don't do anything stupid. Just keep on trying to be consistent. gradually get our players back fit, because I think the next couple of games without injured players is going to be tough. But we saw yesterday that we can grind out a result. That's all that matters. Get the players back. And West Brom will be up for it next week. Tony Mowbray want to beat us. They got beat yesterday off Norwich, and they've still got a lot to fight for in terms of guaranteeing their playoff place. So it'll be a tough game. There'll be more pressure on them, and basically we just got to hope that we capitalize on any of their mistakes. If they over commit players and they attack us, get Mundell, get Roberts, get Isidore, Mayenda on the counter attack, and hopefully sneak a 1-0 win.
Right, okay. Emma's living room clock still says 7:25. So some people haven't done it, Terry. I mean, I'm looking at my watch here, and I'm actually late for work.
That's just laziness. You know, they haven't moved the clock, so they haven't been bothered so far. But they know what time it is still, don't they? Let's face it.
Right, okay. Jacob, just very quickly, would you sit back or go for it, gung-ho?
Just go for it. We need any form of confidence we can with those playoffs coming up.
Right, okay. Terry, you've already resigned yourself to the fact that we're going to be in the playoffs.
I can't have it both ways, exactly the same. We're not going to make the top two because we need two lots of teams to drop all these points, us to win all these points. We're not going to be out of the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, simple as. We need 3 or 4 teams to all win all of their games, us to lose all our games. It doesn't happen, simple as. We're in the playoffs. We may have finished 5th, 4th, wherever, but we're in the playoffs, simple as. So I'm not going to worry about it. Play our normal game, play the way we played yesterday, and we'll see how it goes against West Brom.
Right, okay. Right, we're almost out of time, so let's get some predictions from you for next week. West Brom versus Sunderland. Jacob, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland win, Philly.
2-1 Sunderland will take that. Lee, what do you think?
Well, listen, Philly, my heart says 1-0, but my head says 1-1. So I'll go with my heart, 1-0.
Right, 1-0 Sunderland. Terry, what do you say?
I've been dawdling all the way through this live stream, and that was a blank bit of paper at the start. So I'm going to go with that one.
1-1, Terence.
A 1-1, nice draw against Tony Mowbray's, and that nice point in the bag.
Right, okay. I'm actually not going to go with me 3-1 because we just cannot score goals at the moment. It's like we're not banging them in. So I'm going to go for West Brom 1, Sunderland 3.
And I'll tell you what, we'll get a penalty in one of these next few games and we'll score it.
And who's going to take it?
Anthony
I'm going to say Mayenda.
Right.
Oh, fair enough.
Right. Well, we shall see. Well, you know what? That just about wraps it up. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, of course, we are hoping to hit those 100 likes. We're on 76 at the moment. And like we say, when people tune in, then I'm sure we'll get a lot more. So hit that thumbs up, help us out, get us to 100. And the people who haven't put the clocks forward today, and you're just joining us now, well, we're here to say bye. So you'll have to watch it back, and you won't be able to watch it live. Terry, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Nice one. There you go. Lee, say bye from Spain.
Hasta la próxima.
Okay, do a bit more, because
Hasta la próxima vez. Away the lads. Aupa Sunderland. Vamos!
Vamos! There we go.
See, SAFC Fan TV goes multilingual. Jacob, just say bye to everybody, would you?
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good week. And as I always say at the end of every show, Philly, keep the faith.
Good man. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, once again, if you are a member of the channel, then watch for your name and the credits at the end. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.